Welcome to the Uriah Jokes Podcast, the number one source for debunking the local florist for having a fake botanist degree. And speaking of people without degrees, even from high school, Uriah Wesman. Fantastic! This is Monday episode of the Uriah Jokes Podcast. And people are always like, Uriah, maybe you should focus more on your material and not the equipment. And I tell you, tell that to a hockey player. Basically the same thing. But hey, if you are new to this podcast, thanks for checking it out. And just before you leave to do anything else, hit that like and subscribe button. It's the only way I'll win the war on the algorithm. It's the only way you will get back at whoever you are trying to get back at. And it's a win-win. But fantastic. None of what you said is going to help me get a job. It's really just gonna come back to haunt me in the future. I can't live off the community garden and the loan I got from some murky deals in the Netherlands dealing with the ancient art of checks and balances. Don't get me started on balancing the checkbook. Was that racist? Who knows? But me, I like to let the chips fall where they may. Just as long as they fall in my pocket or they're kettle chips. Amazing. I'm so glad I'm able to spend such amount of time on something so ridiculously stupid. And also, it's not fair to say I never graduated anything. I just graduated to a higher credit limit. This is gonna get out of control, but you know what? No one's watching this anyways, and I'm not really a chicken. I'm a 28-year-old man that is having fun clicking on a thing that makes it sound like a chicken, as if it's unique, or at least I've done anything to deserve your attention with such a mediocre buildup that will leave you disappointed, just like everybody during the annual Purge that is, of course, happening on election night. But I graduated to a higher credit limit on my secured visa. I'm actually a couple months late on that secured visa, and I'm about to declare bankruptcy. But I don't like to put a label on it. I'm a money progressive. I'm pro money. I think the more money you have, the better off you are in life. And that is the money guarantee. I mean, it doesn't cure happiness, but it will cure homelessness. So how about that? Fantastic. But me, I shouldn't. I should not have used my last $200 on the 200 scratch tickets. What am I doing playing the lottery? I don't need to pay. I don't need to pay $5 for a piece of paper to call me a loser. I could call my mom and she'll do it for free. And I don't know. Holiday season's coming up, and this is kind of one of those times where I could have really used that $5 from Grandma. I'm not sure whether or not I'll get that this year. I don't know how there's no headlines on that. There's no kind of like, hey, Grandma, or am I getting the $5 this year, or should I plan on taking out a loan from a loan shark in the Netherlands? Like, come on. There has to be some give and take here. Has to be a sacrifice. The only difference is you can't play again with parents. You get the same parents, and sometimes you'll get another parent And then they're like, yeah, you're only half my son. And I'm like, you know what? That makes sense. This is what should happen. If there is reincarnation, we should not remember our past lives because that would be awful. But just remember the mistakes in like a molecular level, right? And that sounds smart. If I looked back in my life, I would have started a social media account so I wouldn't have to play catch up because the only validation that matters is getting retweeted by a blue check mark. All of a sudden, you got 50,000 new followers. You're talking about aliens using the ancient art of talking about taking over the world on the Joe Rogan podcast with Alex Jones lecturing us about how he's talking about something that could vaguely happen in the future. That's just enough to claim he knew it all along. I've been talking about it for such a long time that the global elites are gonna take over the world. How are they gonna do that, Alex? They're gonna do it. All right. Thank you for the Endgame movie. I mean, I'm a recovering conspiracy theorist, and if you want to talk about triggering, it has been this entire pandemic. I have not Googled conspiracy theories about it because the last thing I want to do is relapse, and then this podcast turns into something that actually gets listeners, because that's how you're going to get listeners nowadays, is to be a right-wing guy, probably, or a left-wing person, and get smothered by the algorithm. Smothered like somebody trying to speak truth to power in the Trump administration. How about that? Fantastic. But it's not enough. It's not enough for viewers to believe it's all a hoax. And maybe Alex Jones is the one behind all of it. Now that would be cool. Look behind the man in the mirror. The man in the mirror is Alex Jones. How about that? That is crazy. I did not expect that. That's unbelievable. How about that? How about Alex Jones is the guy behind all of it? How about that? That's as true as anything. That could be as true as whatever. If you believe it, it is true. That's a factually accurate statement. But what do I know? I'm just a moron with a podcast for people not to listen to. But it's Monday. It's Monday, one day before the election, and followed by another day that's either the Purge or the Purge with non-offensive costumes. I got some bold election predictions.